Forget what you heard. Yeah, boy!
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Forget What You Heard. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Luke.
I ain't superstitious, but I'm a little stitious.
Ooh.
And today on Forget What You Heard, we got some NBA action, we got some Game 7 action, we got some Eastern and Western Conference Finals action, man. We're just chock full, man. We got a full schedule. A lot to talk about, drama here, there, what we think is going to happen, all you can imagine, brothers and sisters out there in the world. But first and foremost, most importantly, how are you, Brother Bear?
I don't need to go to Area 51. I've been to Walmart.
Walmartians.
And yes, they are very big and very angry. But I'm good, man. Thanks for asking. I'm feeling a little under the weather, as you can probably tell in my voice, but I'm getting over it. I'm feeling better. I'm ready to do this podcast with you. I'm ready to give this out for the listeners. Hope you guys enjoy this one. A lot of NBA content today. Big diaper full.
Big diaper full. Heck yeah, brother. Let's do this thing. Let's start it off with the biggest surprise of the evening. The Mavs and Suns Game 7, underwhelming toilet bowl of a game. We were all going into this with great anticipation. You know, it's going to be back and forth. Does Luka have it? Does CP3 get over the hump? You know what I mean? But just bad on all fronts for the Suns, really. From really the first whistle, it was never a game, you know, and that's really stinks as a fan of basketball to have all this anticipation and be ruined by the end of the first quarter when they're down by 20 and it doesn't look like they want to be there. So, yeah, let's talk about it a little bit, shall we?
The Suns were playing not only to not lose, but they were playing scared. Not only did they lose, but they went out sad.
Scared money don't make no money.
I think Luka's performance speaks for itself. I think just what he did in the whole series is just absolutely incredible. I know he got a lot of support from a supporting cast in the series, definitely. But I think this is more so on the Suns than I think it was on Dallas.
You think the Suns lost this game instead of Dallas winning this game?
Yes, 100%. You could kind of see it in the game, even from the start. I mean, just slow, you know, playing too conservative, even defensively. A lot of help defense for not a lot of good reasons. And it was just very poorly executed, poor game plan.
Everything. I
mean,
there
all fell apart.
There was not one thing going right. I think the backcourt of the Suns with Booker and Paul had like 1 point at halftime or something crazy.
Yeah.
Something nuts or something weird like that. But at some point, I think we have to give CP3 the squid eye.
Okay.
You know, we have to look at him for what he really is. Is he the point god or the point fraud?
I think he's Christopher Paul.
Oh, no! State Farm.
I think he's Chris Peed My Pants 3. I don't think he's CP3 anymore, man. This guy lost it. The last 4 games of the series, he averaged 9 points, 6 assists, 4 turnovers. When have we ever seen that out of Chris Paul? Never.
Never.
And he did it in this series. We know in the past that he's not a great playoff performer, so I mean, it doesn't come as a surprise. It's just surprising that this 64-win Suns team was in the NBA Finals last year, and then now they're losing to a Luka-led Dallas team, 4 seed. Didn't really have the expectations to make a big run in the playoffs, but I mean, whatever Luka did, man, in this series was absolutely incredible. I want to share this stat about Luka in this series. He outscored Devin Booker in this series, 218 to 164. He out-rebounded DeAndre Ayton, 69 to 57. He out-assisted Chris Point Fraud Paul 49-40. And he also had more steals than Mikal Bridges, the runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year, 15-9.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Nuts.
He's just, I'm going to, be honest here, man. Luka is an amazing player. He's a generational talent. It was just hard for me to wrap my mind around this Dallas Mavericks team with, as you said, led by Luka. We all know this, but the supporting cast isn't that great if you go down the line, really. Dwight Powell, Kleber, Jalen Brunson, Reggie Bullock. It's just Dorian Finney-Smith. It's just nothing is Spencer Dinwiddie. But it's just crazy to me that, a team with Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker lost to a Luka team. It's like Luka and the Boys,
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of those bands where everyone cares about the lead singer and not about the people playing the instruments.
Yeah, very crazy series. But I want to speak on Game 7 specifically. Luka, when facing elimination, is averaging 39 points per game, which is the most in NBA history. Luka's built for it, as we've seen. Game 7 is the biggest game you can possibly play in. And he comes out, he drops 35. But, just the 39 points per game in elimination games is absolutely fascinating and absolutely incredible. His performance is just insane, man. It's unbelievable. But in this Game 7, 3 players for Dallas combined for 89 points. That was Luka with 35, Dinwiddie with 30, Jalen Brunson with 24. That's 89 total points. The Suns had to use 14 players to get to 90. So another very interesting stat. I just don't understand the game plan. Because, if you're trying to shut down Luka, I guess Dinwiddie stepped up big time in this game.
Yeah, I think this was the best game of the postseason for him. I know you're struggling. But I think they threw, Mikal Bridges at him, but I don't think he has the weight. Luka, to me, or let me get your opinion on this. Do you think Luka at this point is unguardable?
Yes.
I think that's pretty evident now that he does his own thing. It doesn't matter who you put on him. You're not going to speed him up. You're not going to slow him down. He's going to, if he's making his threes, he is literally unguardable. It's just crazy to me to see this happen, really.
Yeah, especially him being so young. I think he was, 23, and he's already this good. It just, being able to play at his own pace already this young, and, maybe he's not the greatest three-point shooter, but just the way he can create a shot, whether that be getting in the lane, getting fouled. He's just smart. He's a very good basketball player. Yeah, at this point, it might be recency bias, but he's a top 5 NBA player at 23, I think, currently. Just what he's done so far, especially in this series against Phoenix, what we expected out of Phoenix, just what he just did, I think is absolutely incredible. I think he's the best player in the playoffs left.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that. I think he is. But let's go back to the Suns.
Yeah, okay.
Where do they go from here? CP3's game smells like skunk.
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges, yes, he's a good defender, but he can score anywhere from 20 to 4 points. You don't know what you're going to get from him every night, and you paid him that big deal. DeAndre Ayton, very strange situation of Bruin. He played 17 minutes, that's it. I've heard reports that, they asked him to go in and he wouldn't check in. There's some weird stuff going on there, so if he ended his season like that, it doesn't look good for him getting that bag in Phoenix, does it? Does that?
My personal opinion, DeAndre Ayton played his last game in Phoenix.
Oh, yeah. Ahoy.
I believe it. I don't think he's back, man. I don't think they give him that contract. I think they look to move him because they're probably not willing to give him that big contract after what they've seen the last 2 seasons. Very inconsistent. Not what they expected out of the number 2 overall pick. It may be like a sign and trade just to try to get some stuff back, maybe.
Wasn't he number 1?
Oh, he might have been, yeah. That was the Luka, Trae Young.
I have a theory that he was in the Mavs locker room trying on jerseys. to see how he looked in the new Dallas fit. And
Yeah.
they caught him red-handed.
And I think they'll have a lot of interest. I think there'll be half the league will be interested in getting and signing DeAndre Ayton to a big contract. Just because of, I mean, he's had the experience in the playoffs with Phoenix. He's still a young, big, good rebounder.
He's good. He's a good player.
Like someone like, I mean, we could see like the Trailblazers, maybe a swap with like Nurkic, because they try to make a move with Dame Lillard coming back. They have to be relevant again. Maybe the Pelicans with Valanciunas, maybe they do a switch or something. But I do expect him to be on a different team next year.
I feel like this is one of the biggest implosion or just biggest downfalls that we've seen from a regular season to the playoffs with the Suns, being they won 64 games. You know, they struggled a little bit with Pelicans, but they had the Devin Booker injury. And then they just get literally trounced on their home court in a Game 7 to all this drama off the court with Ayton. CP3 is going through it. He's going through the ringer. It's just been it's nuts in about 24 hours. Things that, you know what they say? I think they used the term poop hit the fan.
Tell you what, I wouldn't want to be in that room when the poop hits the fan, man. It's flinging it from wall to wall.
I tell you what, man. I also wouldn't want to be in the same room as Lil Wayne.
Hey, come on, man. What do you got to say about him now?
He looks like he smells like pig squalor.
I think that's fair.
And he looks like he stood a little too close to the sun.
I think that's fair, man. Cause
he also looks like he dies every day.
He does, man. He does, man. He really does. But I want to say, did this Game 7 affect Chris Paul's legacy?
Oh, you know, we go through this every year. And, you know, I've been a big proponent of Chris Paul and his legacy. You know, but this one, it has to hurt. Maybe not a significant amount, but it hurts. Especially the last 4 games. He wasn't putting them in position to win. If anything, he was the reason they were losing these games.
Ooh.
Or keeping Dallas in the series. So at this point, I think we have to give him the squid eye and say, you know, this is it. This one hurt. You know, what is his contract with Phoenix? I
think he's got 2 years left.
2 years left, so he'll be there.
Yeah, he said he'll be back next year. I don't think he's retiring just yet. He mentioned them being so close to winning a title, but, I mean, this year kind of opened our eyes.
I will say that CP3 hit a huge 3 to cut the lead down to 42.
Not bad.
With 7 minutes and 15 seconds left in the fourth. So, you know, he does have heart. That was probably the highlight of the Suns' night, was that 3 that cut the lead to 42. So, shots out CP3.
42 looks better than 45. So.
Let's call him CP -3.
Let's call him CP in my pants.
Oh, that was a good one. CP3TO. What is that robot's name?
PO?
C3PO? C3PO.
Something like that.
Bing, 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 ding,
They're
ding,
asking the
ding,
wrong
ding,
gal.
ding, ding, ding.
Chris Paul stinks.
I mean,
I'm sick of him, man. I mean, in the previous podcast, like I said, he's probably the most annoying guy to play against. Patrick Beverley had a lot of words to say about him this morning on Get Up.
Yes, he did. You didn't hold back, neither.
I don't necessarily, I mean, as a player, I probably wouldn't like the comments he made. But as someone who's a viewer, someone who watches these games from the outside looking in, I think it makes a lot of sense, man. That Chris Paul's not a guy that you wake up and you're pooping your pants to go face later that night. I think he's more of a guy like, oh, he's old guy, he's going to get assists, he's a smart player. But ultimately, you know that he's not that type of guy. As we've seen, I mean, he's not able to take the team to the next level. Phoenix really hasn't been very good. I mean, they won 64 games because of the players they have on the team, but they're not really built to.
So you're talking about CP3 now. I'm sure back in the day.
Oh, CP3 was a monster.
A few years ago, he's a nightmare, but I mean, now I guess. I mean, Patrick Beverley went as far to say that CP3 was a cone. What does a cone do on defense?
Stands there.
Nothing. That was like, dang.
That's cold-blooded, but it's cool, you know?
I don't know. I mean, what did CP3 do to Patrick Beverley?
I'm sure there's a lot of jawing back and forth.
But, like you said, I mean, you said it perfectly. Like, as other players, I mean, they're already speaking out against Patrick Beverley. Matt Barnes called him a clown. Dame took offense to what Patrick Beverley said. Because that's a fraternity, and you kind of keep that in house, you know.
Dame's just mad because Pat Beverly would lock his butt up, man.
I mean, you don't flame another fraternity brother or NBA associate with Stephen A. Smith, man.
Yeah, in the media. Yeah, I agree.
With Get Up, or so
I understand.
But I mean, as a viewer, heck yeah, man, more power to you, brother. We love to hear this stuff, man. We love the trash talk, especially Patrick Beverley, man. It doesn't hurt my feelings. It doesn't rub me the wrong way, but I can see how, this could make it a sticky situation in the NBA huddles.
Yeah, I just like how he just went off on Chris Paul. Cause I'm not a big fan of Chris Paul personally, but like how he was like, I can stay up all night when I have a matchup against Chris Paul the next day. But he's like, when I face someone good like Steph, I got to be in bed at 8, turn my phone off, be ready to play. So, that's coming from a player who loves playing defense, and it makes it seem like he's not really worried about him. So,
yeah. Do you think it affects his legacy?
Yeah, I think it will. Just being known for a guy who can never pull it out. There's going to be a long list of games and series you can go back to when his career's over and be like, dang, they didn't, get out of it. They didn't go over the top. And I think you can especially come back to this Game 7.
You can circle this one.
Yeah, you come back to this after his career's over and say, dang, he stunk this series. It was a Game 7, win or go home. He went home just like he did early on in his career as well. And so it's just it's been the same thing over and over again. These high expectations, when the series comes, when the big games come, he's out here holding his quad. He's out here leaving games early with hamstrings. He's out here wiping the floor when it gets wet. This dude, sick of him.
What about Devin Booker? How do you
him?
view him now after this Game 7? Is he still your superstar boy?
See, it's easy to say no after the series, after the Game 7. But he's a young player. He's a good player for sure. But we just haven't seen him in the big moments. And Game 7 is the biggest moment. I'm a big proponent of coming out of that victorious. If you end up having to go home, yeah, there's going to be this, is he built for it? Is he a winner? Can he win the championship? If he's losing in Game 7s, probably not. You get that feeling like maybe he's not that guy. And you kind of get that feeling now after Phoenix lost. We don't know. We got to see. Devin Booker's one of the best scorers in the NBA, but is he going to be able to win a championship? I don't know.
But at the end of the day, man, he still gets to go home to Caitlyn Jenner.
That's boy wonder over there, man.
What do you mean? I'd date her.
You date her? Oh, Caitlyn or Bruce?
Is Caitlyn Jenner the mom?
Caitlyn?
Yeah.
No, he's dating Caitlyn.
Oh, Kendall Jenner.
Oh,
that's
is it
who
Kendall?
I meant. Yeah, sorry about that miscommunication, man.
Gosh,
but D-Book, man, he's soft. He's like Charmin soft, man. You try to wipe your buns with that, you're gonna end up getting some poo on your hand. He's Charmin soft, man. He talks a big game, bark bark, looks like a chihuahua. He needs to have more of that get back by his play, not by his talk. I think he lit a fire under Luka when he said that. The Luka special. Come on, man, grow up, man. You lit a fire under a real ball player. And his name's Luka. If Luke grew up in Slovenia, his name would be Luka too. So watch your mouth, boy.
Yeah, he's got floaties on in the kiddie pool, man. He's not built for it.
Yeah, he's not built like that, man.
And it's interesting how Ben Simmons had his run with Caitlyn Jenner. Now Devin Booker's with Caitlyn Jenner. They're both soft. They're both built from the same cloth, man.
Yeah, Charmin, man.
So anytime Caitlyn Jenner's with another man, we
Dude,
know what type of man it is.
I made the same mistake, man. It ain't Caitlyn, it's Kendall.
Same.
Caitlyn is Kendall's dad, mom.
Same family, dude.
Caitlyn is Kendall's dad, mom.
I'm not that far off, dude.
Yeah, close enough, man. But I guess the Suns, do they just run it back without Ayton? I mean, they have Mikal Bridges. They have CP3. They're going to have Devin Booker. Cam Johnson's been good. I just don't know what the future looks. I mean, I guess they're still a powerhouse next year, right?
This is my answer for Phoenix. You trade Ayton, you get Valanciunas, or you get Nurkic as a replacement. You trade for Eric Gordon, maybe sign another guy. Come back, get healthy, maybe another guard. Like back, I guess Eric Gordon can be that guy. So get Eric Gordon, trade Ayton, get like two pieces, including Nurkic or Valanciunas, and run it back.
They went from the Suns to the Buns overnight.
Yeah, they left him out in the sun too, man.
A little too long, man. Lil Wayne needs to get away.
Hey, come on, man.
That's so weird to me that Lil Wayne's a Suns fan.
No, he's Chris Paul's best friend from New Orleans. I don't know. Chris Paul came into the league. He's New Orleans. Lil Wayne's from New Orleans.
Why is he a Packers fan?
That's a good question. Probably something with.
But he's also a Ravens fan, I think.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Oh, but that's enough about Lil Wayne.
Yeah, dude.
Do you have any? I wrote this down. For me, like the Mavericks, I guess this is too far ahead, but yeah, I'll wait.
Let's hold on to that one.
Yeah, I'll hold on to the back.
Put that one in your back pocket.
Oh, I'll fit it in there.
Put it in your overall front loader.
Dude, I wish I had overalls right now so I could front load right now, dude.
That'd be a special gift.
That'd be a special occasion, man.
Let's move on to a big one, too, man.
Oh, man, this one, not a very good game either, but more spirit, more fight.
Okay.
More juice. You know, there's something to this one. There's some, cat scratch fever, if you will.
There's some lick to the lollipop here.
Yeah, Bucks Celtics. Celtics won 109-81, which I think the score doesn't reflect how hard the Bucks fought.
Okay.
Giannis ended with 25 points, 20 rebounds, 9 assists, 10 of 26 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3. But the big story was the 3-point discrepancy.
Yeah.
The Bucks went 4 of 33. That's 12%. You ain't gonna win no game like that.
No.
And the sad part is, Giannis had one of those threes, so the rest of the team had made 3 threes.
Yikes.
Ain't gonna work. Celtics, however, broke the NBA record for most threes in a game attempted. They went 22 of 55, 40% from 3.
Yeah.
And the biggest, the guy that is really unexpected. He looks like he came from the bottom of the ocean, Grant Williams.
Looks like one of them blobfish.
I'll tell you what, man, but that boy was shooting lights out. 27 points, 7 of 18 from threes. I think that's what the Bucks were like. That was what they were planning to do: cut off Jason Tatum, cut off Jaylen Brown, and see if the role players could beat him. Peyton Pritchard had a good game, and Grant, career. That's like a biggest game of his career. Might be the biggest game of his whole life, but that remains to be seen. It was just too much for the Bucks to overcome without Chris Middleton. Role players were very here and there. They weren't consistent. It was just, it wasn't the Bucks' year. And the Celtics are ascending, and this is their year. They're fantastic. It was it's sad to see Giannis go, but I love to watch him leave.
It's tough to overstate how much the Bucks miss Chris Middleton. I mean, the whole series is different with Chris Middleton.
That's a walking 20 points right there.
Yeah, probably the Bucks' second best player.
Hey, can I say something?
No.
Bucks win the series if they have Chris Middleton. 110%.
Hypothetical this, hypothetical that.
Hey, you need to camp under a palm tree.
Giannis did everything he could. Giannis is a dominant player in the NBA. But the series came to a Game 7, and there are no excuses.
You know what comes out of butt? Poop. And I'm not going to have you do all that.
I'm just saying, man, it's Game 7, win or go home.
What more could Giannis do? He averaged 35. His 35, 14, and 7.
I'm not saying he could have done more in the series. Like I said, I think he did everything and anything that he could.
I'm not saying it was your fault.
But what I'm saying,
he could have done more.
He could have done more in Game 7. He didn't shoot the ball very well. He was not the same guy. Maybe he's tired. His role players aren't playing up to what they need to do. But he shot 10 of 26.
Okay, this is his chink in the armor. He can't shoot from outside, dude. So the Celtics had a game plan. Giannis isn't going to beat us. So we're going to block off Giannis and see if the role players can beat us. Great game plan on the right night, because if the role players are going, the Bucks win this game. But they weren't hitting. They couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, all right? And Giannis was probably so dang tired playing 40 minutes. I mean, you saw the numbers I just put out there. The guy's he's literally doing everything.
Yes.
Steals, blocks.
I understand. But being tired and your role players not performing are excuses. There's no excuses in Game 7. I don't care if you have to score 50. I don't care if you're being double-teamed. Giannis deserves a little bit of fault. If anyone else is in Game 7 and they lose, how come everyone's blasting Phoenix? How come everyone blasting Harden? How come all these
Giannis didn't have Chris Middleton, his second-hand man. They won a championship together.
That's the biggest thing.
So I'm not making excuses for them. They lost the series fair and square, but I'm saying Giannis did everything in his
I agree.
110% left it on the court, and that's what you want out of a superstar.
Agree.
If you want to nitpick and give him fault, of course you have to give.
I'm not saying it's all his fault. I'm not saying the reason they lost is because of Giannis. I'm saying, every superstar, every great player that's ever played in the NBA has had bad games. Has had bad games in elimination games. It happens.
Is this a bad game? 25, 20, and 9?
He wasn't very good, dude. He
didn't shoot well. But that's not a bad game.
He missed shots that he had been making previously. He even said it himself, he did miss some shots that he had been making. And I don't know. I just don't understand why he still gets all this love.
Let me tell you why. Because he joined a new club that no player in NBA history has joined. 200 points, 100 rebounds, and 50 assists in a playoff series. Talk about doing it all, leaving it all out there. Giannis.
Yeah, he did. I agree. I think he did everything he could. I'm going to repeat that.
I don't think he needs a fault.
But I'm just saying he went home. That's all I'm saying. And I think I'm not blaming him. I think he's the best player in the world. That's fine.
You do?
Do I think he is? Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably. But like you said, I think maybe it's not Giannis's fault. Maybe it's Ime Udoka's fault.
What do you mean he won?
Because he set such a good game plan against the Bucks, and he destroyed them. He figured them out. He figured out KD against the Nets. He figured out Giannis against the Bucks in his first postseason. Give Ime Udoka a crown.
What if the role players knocked down 23s?
They didn't. They scored 81 points.
I know, but what if that game plan backfired?
What if Chris Middleton plays? That doesn't matter to me. What did happen is they destroyed the Bucks in Game 7. Ime Udoka were shutting down Giannis, and he did, and the role players stunk. It was a great game plan. Ime Udoka has now done it 2 series in a row in his first postseason run as an NBA head coach. He's a superstar head coach. I believe in Ime Udoka, and he's a big reason why the Celtics are doing what they're doing.
I just don't think that Giannis deserves one bad thing to be said about him. Let me give you some stats, man. He had 3 40-point games.
Stats this, stats that. He's
at home. 1 30-point game, 2 25-plus point games. The reason they're Game 7 is Giannis. The reason they're even there is Giannis.
Right.
I'm just saying that Giannis, yes, it hurts that he went out and they lost, but
I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm just saying, like, he lost. He's going home. The Celtics were prove that they were the better team. That's not his fault. But he lost, you know? So I'm not going to act like, oh, everything's fine. I mean, he's at home, you know?
so you're not saying anything's wrong with him losing?
No, I think every superstar, every great player in NBA history has to go through this. And he's good enough to where he actually won his NBA Finals before he lost.
Giannis is better than LeBron.
Currently or all time?
He will be all time.
No. Really? You actually believe that?
Yeah.
Why? What makes you believe that?
I just think he's better.
At what? Than prime LeBron?
Well, he's better.
Prime LeBron probably wouldn't lose his Game 7.
He lost to the Mavericks in the finals.
Wasn't a Game 7.
He got swept in the finals by the Spurs.
So?
He was prime.
He was in the finals for 10 straight years.
Giannis would never let the Bucks get swept in the finals. He won his first finals and got a finals MVP against the Suns.
He just lost. So LeBron went to the finals for 10
LeBron's not even in the playoffs.
You said all time, though. You're not saying right now. That's where I disagree.
No, right now.
LeBron went to the finals for 10 straight years. Do you understand what that means?
Oh, let me go to Cleveland. Let's go back to Miami. Let's go back to Cleveland.
Okay, so you're telling
Let's
me...
go to L.A.
He
Come on, man. Giannis has been
So you're telling me he went
a buck through and through.
You're telling me he went to 3 different teams and made the finals 10 straight years? That's even crazier. Like, making playoff runs isn't easy. He did it 10 times in a row. Like, that's literally one of the greatest stats I've ever heard.
What do
you want to say all time, dude? Giannis isn't even close. He's not top 5, dude.
I know he's not top 5 yet. He's 27, man.
We'll see.
He's 27, man.
Let's see what he can do, man.
You got any more stuff to talk about?
Yeah, I think the Bucks had too much attention on Tatum and Brown. I mean, I understand it.
Grant Williams is never going to do that again in his life.
Yeah, but he did, is what I'm trying to say. Is they let Grant Williams drop 27. What he hit, like 7 threes. You just need to find a way to... I mean, I like the fact that they let someone else beat him. Like, it wasn't Tatum, it wasn't Brown. They let Grant Williams.
You have to live and die by that game plan. And
I guess.
But it looks bad whenever they're making their shots. So that it looks... But if that would have worked... minus 25 points for Grant, or 7, 20,
but my
21
problem
points.
is I think it works when your game plan is against one person, but when you're putting too much attention on 2 with Tatum and Brown, it kind of creates like...
Don't you have to?
No, I think you have to put attention on them, but I think they put too much attention on them. Like you can put too much attention on one player like they did with Giannis. You can have too much attention for him, but having too much attention on 2 players, when Tatum gets the ball, he swings it to Brown. Now they're having all this attention. There's always going to be that one person that's open.
Hey, let me give you a hypothetical since you love him.
All right.
Who wins the series if Chris Middleton plays?
The Bucks.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to a Game 7.
Yeah, I think it's a different story.
I think, yeah, with Middleton, they're probably the best team, man. I mean...
It stinks, doesn't it?
I even thought they could win the series without Middleton. That's how good I think Giannis is.
Yeah, he is real good. Oh, he's so good, man, that he's no good. You need to move on?
Yeah.
Oh, citations.
What do we got?
Oh, man, let's go to the previews of the Western Conference Finals.
Offense is about causing problems. Defense is about solving them.
Holy mackerel, who told you that? Huey Brown?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I heard it through his diaper.
Dude, Huey Brown, it's amazing to me that he still knows what he's talking about.
He's got
one eye looking in the back court, one looking in the front court, man.
Yeah, he might think he's at NASCAR.
Really? I'm waiting for the day where he literally... Like, he doesn't know where he's at.
Yeah, Ian Kansas. Matt Kansas.
Dude, that would be a legendary moment in sports history.
Nah, he's an absolute legend, man. I respect him.
And he's very, very, very knowledgeable to this day. Like, He's one of my favorites, honestly, because he always gives me a tidbit of knowledge that I've never known about basketball. Like back when Naismith put up the peach basket type knowledge, man.
Yeah, and he's like old. He kind of has like a sense of humor. Like he's not like one of those grumpy old guys. Like he's like.
It's very rare when you get to see that little tidbit of his.
Yeah.
Usually he's all business. Like,
yeah, that's true.
He's straight to the point, but every now and again, he'll make a fart joke and whatnot.
Yeah, and even like how old he is, he's very well spoken and good looking.
Yeah. Boy, howdy, is he handsome, man.
I'll give him that.
All right, let's do the Western Conference Finals. The Warriors and the Mavs, man.
Okay.
It's hard for me to pick the Mavericks. It's hard for me to see this team making it to the finals.
Okay.
Because we talked about it before. It's Luka and the boys, And for me, Golden State has so many options. And you know what's weird? We haven't seen the vintage Steph streak yet, where he gets hot for those couple games, and we're like, oh, we got a problem underneath that.
Yeah, you just got to lift the hood of the car, man. He's under there. I want to play the side of Dallas. Can I play the side of Dallas real quick?
Like you're going to advocate for him?
Yeah.
Oh, man, good luck with that one.
Is it possible that everything Dallas did versus Phoenix is repeatable?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they just have to shoot really well from three.
Is it possible that Golden State is overrated?
I think they are.
Really?
Yeah, I think that they aren't the Warriors that we've seen in the past.
So hear me out. The Warriors so far in the playoffs beat an injured Denver Nuggets team. They just had Jokic. That's about it. Everyone else kind of stinks, if we want to be completely honest.
Yeah, especially Aaron Gordon.
And then the second round, they faced a very young Grizzlies team. Very good regular season. But the Ja missed 2 to 3 games in that series.
But they're better without Ja.
They went 6 games. And Ja missed 2 or 3 of those games.
But I don't think the loss of Ja, because they might be better without Ja.
Ja's a superstar. He makes them better. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, you're going to hear it from my lawyer.
So those first 2 teams I'm having issues with because I think, both games went 6 games. Maybe Denver went 5 games. Dallas just beat a 64-win Suns team. Luka feels like the best player in the playoffs right now. And the role players are excelling. You know what makes championship teams, winning teams in the playoffs?
Role players.
Excelling role players.
Big shot Bob.
The role players have done a great job defending, playmaking, and shooting. They've done excellent. They've had Dorian Finney-Smith had an 8 3-point game. We've seen Brunson have a 30, 40-point game. Just guys are stepping up, they're playing the role, and they're excelling in it. Jason Kidd has been very impressive with Dallas in his first year, with game plans, specifically versus Phoenix against Devin Booker and Chris Paul. Game 7, lights out, where they have one field goal made at halftime. I think things are working out in the favor of Dallas right now, especially riding on Luka, excelling role players, Jason Kidd's game plans. That is a scenario of winning basketball. The Warriors haven't faced a team like this yet.
You've been cooking with sewer water again, haven't you?
Yeah, I found Alligator Dan. He was giving me some.
Those are very good points. And I also have question marks for the Warriors. I'd like to tell them to you.
Please.
Klay Thompson, question mark, very inconsistent. He can go 6 for 20, but he can also open up that bag and drop it on your head. So that's a question mark for me. The vintage Steph Curry games hasn't been there. Are we waiting? Are we waiting for failure?
I'm a little bit worried about that one.
Draymond Green will do anything in his power to not shoot the ball.
Rightfully so.
And I think that Jason Kidd is going to use that to his advantage and literally sag off of him as far as possible to make him shoot that shot. And if people do that to you, you know what that does to your head, man. They're sitting in your head rent-free when they start doing that, daring you to shoot. But he does so much other than that. Western Conference All-Star starter, Andrew Wiggins.
Yikes.
Is more like a brick stink fart maker.
Okay. I
He
think that's,
stinks.
Yeah. 100%.
And,
think that's
this
fair.
is a question mark. There's question marks, man. Jordan Poole.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a flash in the pan type dude?
Yeah, definitely question marks. But my only issue is they are so quick to get hot. Like, that's a team that just takes, 6 minutes for them to put up 25 points. You know what I mean? Like,
But
that's,
we've seen it one game this whole playoffs, and it was the Grizzlies game 4 when they put up 142. The games were close without Jaw too. They were close games.
they lost one without Jaw. Yeah.
They got destroyed. I
Yeah.
think they were down by 50 at one point.
Right.
This is definitely not the Warriors that we knew a few years ago. They don't have the death squad. They're not sharpshooters like they once were. But I have the Warriors in 6. Because this Mavericks team isn't going to, they got to really, I cannot see a scenario of them making it to the NBA Finals and hoisting the Larry O'Briens.
Yeah, I see that. I just think that's what makes the playoffs so playoffs. And the other thing with Dallas, too, is they have a small ball lineup as well that can match up with Golden State's small lineup, death lineup.
That's so playoffs.
Golden State wants to go small ball. Yeah, well, let me throw out Luka, Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, Kleber, whatever you got.
It's the future I can see.
All 4 teams in these conference finals have a great small ball lineup. That's the new NBA. Small ball lineup's the way to go. That's what it's showing us so far. I mean, if you have a great small ball lineup, if your best lineup is small ball, it's showing us that this is the new NBA. That's how you win in these scenarios.
If Dinwiddie starts playing like he did, I think he kind of lost his identity after leaving Brooklyn. Washington, he didn't know who he was at the beginning of his Dallas trial. I think now he identifies as a off the bench heat check dude now. He's not really trying to run the offense. He's trying to get his own.
Yeah, my biggest thing with Dinwiddie is that in the Phoenix series, he was only good in home games, like at Dallas. That was like my biggest thing. But Game 7, I think, proved me wrong. I think proved something for Spencer Dinwiddie. I think it kind of unlocked Spencer Dinwiddie because it was at Phoenix. He made a whole bunch of threes. He scored 30 points.
Yeah, he was great.
Finally doing it at an away game, I think is huge for his confidence and his abilities. Because he had, like you said, he's a hot sharpshooter off the bench. And if he can just continue to make shots against Golden State, they have that type of firepower. If their role players continue to excel, they'll win the series.
Yeah, Spencer Dinwiddie looks like someone traveled back in time and took him off an ABA roster and brought him back to the present with that powerful goatee and afro. I'm going to say, man, that's a power move on his part. I just want to shake his hand.
Yeah, he does, man. You put him in a Phil 76ers jersey with some short shorts and some tall socks. He's going to be looking like
Dr. J.
Dr. J's teammate.
He look like Dr. D.
Be Dr. Doofenshmirtz on his head.
You think, just getting rid of Porzingis, I think it shows how much they tried to get him his touches and stuff to make him happy, and how that was a waste of possessions trying to get him involved. He's as useful as a poopy flavored lollipop.
Yeah, it was a great move
with
to
Luka.
finally move off of him. And
but Bertans still stinks and making a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about that. I'm worried about the more important role players. Brunson's got to be big in this series.
JJ Barea.
That's fair.
You remember him?
Of course, man. Yeah, I hate him.
You have the same ball skills as him?
No.
You hate him?
Yeah, dude. I'm a Rockets fan, man. I don't like JJ Barea.
I don't like the Dallas Mavericks.
I like Dirk.
Maybe
though.
that's why I can't just see through my hatred for the Mavericks to say maybe they are this. Maybe they're doing what the Rockets could never do.
We'll see, man. Golden State's not the same, as you said. I mean, they just seem old and just not kind of washed, if you want me to be completely...
I'm going to make a hot take. Steph Curry vintage series, night, and then once they get to the finals, everyone's going to be like, shoot, man, no one's beating the Warriors.
You want to make a toilet bowl water bet?
Yeah, who has to drink it?
Steph is not vintage.
Let's do a swirly.
Swirly bet?
Yeah, whoever loses has to get a swirly.
How about 30?
What is it? Well, how do we classify
You know
vintage?
vintage Steph. We see vintage Steph.
Averaging 28?
Yeah, I mean...
Okay, then,
if you
yeah.
watch the games, you know what's going on.
What if I miss one? You got to be honest with me. Scout's honor.
I mean, you can tell we'll be able to tell if it's vintage Curry, man. You know,
We'll video it and put it on our...
if he's shimmying and his tongue's out of his mouth and he's chewing on his breath, I think he'll be just fine.
Yeah, so you're betting that he doesn't go vintage?
I'm betting that Dallas wins in 6.
Oh, holy.
Dallas in 6, baby. Let's go, Dallas.
Oh, dude, I just vomited everywhere.
Someone get Mark Cuban on the phone real quick.
Oh, man, he's in Shark Tank.
Yeah, I got some Shark Tank ideas for him.
Do you have a Shark Tank idea?
Yeah.
What is it?
Shorts that go past your knees.
Dude, you're like 70 years too late, bro.
Come on, man. That's not a bad idea. How about tank tops with pockets?
They're called frockets.
Shoot.
Dude.
Like hand pockets, like hand warmer. You
Oh,
got
like
any
a tank
ideas?
top with like hoodie pockets?
Yeah.
They have that.
Dang it,
And a
man.
hood. Dude, you're living in the dark ages, dude.
Yeah, dude, we got to go back and
What do you wear? Shorts that go over your knees, dude. That's been around for a really long time now.
What about a see-through hat?
That might be something. That might be a move. I don't see the point, really. Because then it's just like you're not wearing a hat because people can still see your hair. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen that. That might be a trend.
Yeah, dude. You see what I'm smelling?
Yeah, I'm smelling what you're stepping in, man.
You'd be like a top hat or like a ball cap. But I guess if you're like bald or you had a bad hairline, you probably wouldn't want to wear it. Because you're probably wearing a hat because of that, you know?
Yeah, you just put a hat on and then... Yeah, I don't know. But if you're doing it for style, I could see it.
Yeah, dude. Have you seen one of those before?
Never.
Yeah, get Mark Cuban on here, man.
I want to make one of those hats with the twirly twirl on top.
Which one where you can spin it in the wind?
Yeah, the swirly bird.
I never understood those hats, to be honest.
What's there to understand, man? They look cool or not?
Yeah, but is it supposed to help you like lift off the ground?
No, I think it's just for low, or to tell how fast the wind's blowing. It's a barometer.
Why would you need that, though? And if you have it on your own head, how are you supposed to see it?
You ask someone, hey, which way is it spinning and how fast?
We're going northwest?
Yeah, that's a good point. I also have a Shark Tank idea.
Yes.
Pants on horses.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the back leg, the hinds,
Okay.
all the way up to their center of their belly.
Okay, is there a hole for their tail to come out, or is their tail under the short pants?
Tails inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it comes in like Spanx, sweatpants, denim, slacks. You know, like if you're taking them out, like on the streets, you put on like, you know, denim or slacks. But if you're taking them to the barn, you can put on some Spanx or some sweatpants, you know.
Yeah, I like the idea. I think it would be very cute, but
You got to get their John out somehow.
I think it could be make the horses self-conscious.
I think it makes them less self-conscious because they're covering up their butt crack, and then when they poop, you can't really see it.
Yeah, but then they're gonna be worried about what to wear. What kind of jeans should I wear? Denim?
They can't dress themselves.
Should I wear denim today?
No, their owner dresses them because they can't physically put it on.
Yeah, but what if they get to a point where it's like, I don't want to wear denim today. I want to wear Spankies.
Well, they'll have to communicate that to their owner.
Okay, I think that's a good
2
idea.
nays for denim, 3 nays for, what are you looking at, Spanx?
Is there a hole for the dung water to fly out of there?
It serves as a diaper. It catches it. Have you ever rode behind a horse or walked behind a horse where it comes out like a big cucumber poop?
Yeah, it just slips in, yeah.
And it's just on the ground. But this, like, it acts as it catches the poop and harnesses it. so you can throw it away properly.
And it produces energy. It uses it as
You can
like fuel.
It keeps it in there, but the jaunt, it just jaunts out, and you jaunt the pee out.
I think that's fair, man. That's a good idea.
Thank you. You think Mark Cuban will buy it? Because I did this. I was targeting Mark Cuban. Mavericks, a horse.
Okay.
Horse pants equals big bucks in the future.
Yeah, I think that's smart, man.
Thank you, man.
Mark Cuban could ride out to the basketball court, on the basketball court, the horse with his pants on.
Yeah, but his horse, its butt crack would be showing, because his butt crack is literally always showing on national TV.
Is that true?
Yeah, there's like a compilation of him like cheering, and when his shirt comes up, his butt crack's always showing.
Hey, I'm a big proponent of that, man. I support all that.
Plumber's butt?
Yeah, dude.
I do. I mean, to each their own, man. I'm not against it. I'm not for it.
You don't have to cover it up, man. Let it out.
Unless you got some dung water around.
I mean, that's different, but
yeah, if you have good hygiene, yeah, that's fine.
I'm not a fan of looking at it and seeing it, but I'm a fan of, if that's what you want to do, man, go for it.
You a fan of swiping?
Yeah, I take card.
Thank you.
We
man.
need to cover Miami.
Yeah,
Boston.
let's go to the Eastern Conference, man.
Okay.
We got the Celtics and the Miami Heat.
Who do you have in this series?
Celtics in 6.
Me too.
Oh, man. This is going to be a little, holding hands, kumbaya, but there's going to be some arguments going on, man, because I got a few takes you probably ain't like.
Let me hear it then.
I think that Miami just doesn't have enough offense.
Yep.
I don't think Jimmy Butler is enough, even if it's playoff Jimmy, and I don't know how long this is going to keep going. I'm waiting for the day it stops. I think Bam Adebayo needs to average 18-plus points. But here's the kicker, and I think he will, because there ain't no Joel Embiid to bother him no more. He just has to guard Big Big John Horford.
Okay.
And you know what
He's
Big
a
Al's
problem.
feeling right now? He's getting real sleepy. I'm talking about real sleepy. He's old. He's probably tired as poop putting up 30 every game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you probably won't see that Al Horford this series. That's just how I feel. I don't think Miami can keep up with the Jason, the Jalen, the Marcus Smart, all that. I think it's too much.
The Grant Williams.
Unless Kyle Lowry comes out of the cryo chamber shooting that ball at 40% from 3.
No, that ain't going to happen. I only have one note down written for this series, and it's Miami has a top 5 defense, but 12th ranked offense, and they run into scoring problems in the half court. That is their demise.
Yeah.
Boston has the number 1 ranked defense, and they don't always stall out in the half court on offense because they have a lot of playmakers, good shooters, good players. Advantage Boston, better team. Honestly, at this point, I think Udoka and Spoelstra are evenly matched in terms of game plans.
I'm
not going to say it, man.
I'm not going to give Ime that.
I'm going to
much
say
credit.
it. I'm not scared to say it.
Spo's been around. He's the one that stared down LeBron and told him that this is my team.
No, that
He's
was
the only
Pat
coach
Riley.
to ever do that, man.
I'm not trying to hate. Eric Spoelstra's a top 3 coach in the NBA, no doubt about it in my mind. But what I've seen so far from Ime Udoka, I think right now he's on par with Spoelstra. I think he can. It's not going to be one of those things where Spoelstra just completely dominates because he outcoaches Udoka. I don't think that's going to happen, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, I don't think it'll be dominant. We have the Celtics winning.
Right.
So.
And like Budenholzer, he gets outcoached all the time. He's kind of overrated. But Udoka has yet to be outcoached. I know Spoelstra's a much better coach, but I don't know. I love what I've seen from Udoka.
Yeah, I like Udoka a lot too. I think it'll be a good series though, I'm hoping. It's just so you have the Mavs versus the Celtics.
Unfortunately.
Golly, that's like watching paint dry, man. If Dallas makes the finals, I will be very, very salty.
Me too.
Oh boy, I'll be salty.
But would you be shocked?
No, I would not be shocked.
I'm not sure how much I believe it. I just, looking through it, going through all these things, I can just see them making that run.
It's just I can't see a roster like that make it to the NBA Finals. When your second best player is Jalen Brunson,
Yeah.
and you have Dwight Powell and Dorian Finney-Smith, Reggie Bull. It just doesn't make
But
Kleber.
I mean, the players you're naming aren't superstars, but they're good players, and they're excelling right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if Luka does this, he does the dang thing, and he leads them to the finals. Dude, he's
it would be incredible, but I think, like, I mean, you can't win a championship by yourself. It's obviously a team accolade. You have to have a good team to win the championship. And I think they do. I think they do have a good team outside of Luka. I mean, what they've done so far in the playoffs, they all know their role. They all play it super well, and they've been exceeding. So maybe we don't see them exceed. Like, what if they come back to the norm? They're, come back to being role players, and then Luka's having to do kind of like what Giannis had to go through a little bit. But if they, I mean, I don't know. Just what I've seen so far, I just expect them to kind of keep it up a little bit. And I mean,
I can't think of a worse team making it to the finals.
You can't think of one?
Can you? Like,
No.
with less talent?
No.
Like, I was trying to think back, but, like, the Pistons had talent. The 2004.
Oh, they were.
Oh,
Yeah.
LeBron, when he went to
Yeah,
the finals.
I guess that 2000.
Allen Iverson with Philly. Eric Snow.
Yeah.
Keith Van Horn.
That's a good one.
Aging Dikembe.
Because I mean,
But recent
recently,
memory.
no. I mean, Toronto, when they won, they're
But
stacked.
they had, yeah. Pascal, Fred VanVleet, Kawhi.
I mean, the Lakers. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's very strange to even see him here right now. But I just think with everything going that way, they can.
You must really like Jalen Brunson.
I don't. I don't. I just.
You have to if you have them winning in
No,
6.
this isn't a personal thing for me. This is like what I've seen so far, what they've done so far,
This is your pick.
what I've seen from
It
Golden
is
State.
personal.
No, it's not personal, man.
You're making the pick.
I hate Dallas.
I know, but you're picking them to win in 6.
I guess it's a personal pick, but it's not like personal. I'm not taking it because I personally like Dallas or hate Golden State. I actually I hate both teams more than every other team, but like I said, what I went through earlier, I mean, all the things that Dallas has got going for them, and then Golden State not being the same. I mean, it wouldn't be that crazy. I mean, it would be crazy because Luka would probably have a crazy series, but this is what I think, man. Dallas in 6, I'll say it.
Dallas in 6. That's crazy. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Forget What You Heard. Thanks as always for the support and love. You guys have a great week. We love you. Peace, love, and happiness.
I love you.
There's a Scrooge in here.